It's only the beta and we already got Dark Ops challenges to unlock. I know it sounds nuts, but we already got 2 Dark Ops challenges that we can complete here in the beta. One in multiplayer and one in zombies. The one here in multiplayer, we need to get 1,000 kills during the beta, which seems like a lot. And I have no idea where I'm at. I don't know if there's any place to check it, but I am up to max level right now. I am level 20. I've been playing for a bit, and I'm gonna assume I'm at least like a few hundred, maybe. You know, I've had some good games, I've had some bad, but so far I've had the most fun sniping and trying to get used to the movement a little bit, because we do have some wall running and some wall bouncing. I'll get into that more in a second. Our other confirmed Dark Ops challenge is in zombies. And to unlock that, we're going to need to get to round 50 when zombies releases tomorrow. And it's going to be kind of difficult because not only do we not really like know the mode too much, I don't think it's going to be vastly different from BO6. But the biggest difference is going to be that we have absolutely 0 augments to work with. Now, I haven't played zombies without any augments in a while. And the last time I did something similar to that was playing Cold War without any of the Aether Crystal upgrades. And it feels like a completely different game without those upgrades. So I'm assuming BO6 is going to be at least somewhat similar to that in terms of difficulty. And hopefully I'll actually be able to get it done. As for the game so far, like my first few games on here, I was kind of just playing it like BO6 multiplayer. Not really getting into the movement as much. But the second I picked up a sniper, I kept trying to go for some crazy shots. Going for some wall jump 360s and all that. Haven't really hit any, but I've been trying, and the more and more I've been trying to implement it into my normal gameplay, the more I've gotten used to it, and it's actually a lot of fun to mess around with. I really like the addition of this little wall bounce, wall jump. I don't know what you want to call it, because you can't really wall run. You can take a few steps off the wall, and you can do a little hop off of it, even like 2 hops if there's walls near each other. Oof. But I'm hesitant to call it wall bouncing because that just reminds me of Gears of War, and I feel like that is a way different mechanic than this. But either way, I really like it a lot. It's like the most advanced movement we can get with Omni movement without going into the unrealistic or the more futuristic gameplay where we have like jetpacks and everything. Like, I feel like I can get behind this a lot. It really reminds me of like Apex Legends. It's not that similar to it. Like, I used to play a good amount of Apex where you could do some wall jumps and you would just absolutely fly off of a wall if you could time your jump right. And this is more like, instead of running right at the wall and jumping, which you can do, you kind of want to run parallel to the wall and then jump off of it as you're sprinting. Like, if I go this way and I want to hop off of this, got to jump off that wall and then just get sent flying while I'm getting shot at. But it's basically, you want to just jump whatever is like next to you, like right here, do a little bit of that, and then shit on him. But I've already been having a lot of fun with just a beta in general. You know, I've been having a lot of games where I'm getting dumpstered, because it is still like the early access days of the beta and everyone on here is sweaty as hell. And I'm just trying to have a good time and snipe around, and the time to kill is very fast. So if I'm not hitting my shot with a sniper, I'm dead immediately. And I'm really just curious to see how it's gonna like really work in zombies. So I feel like for the most part, I don't know how much I'm gonna be using the wall running and jumping, because I don't know how effective it's gonna be for training or anything. I feel like it does add a lot of value to like PhD Flopper. But outside of that, I don't know like what we can do with it besides maybe get yourself out of like a tough situation if you're nasty. I don't know how many walls are actually gonna be there on Ashes of the Dam that you can use this with, because inside like a more enclosed space, the wall running and jumping don't really help too much. But out in the open areas like this where there is a nice surface to bounce off of, it feels good to do. And I guess I might as well just get into my pros and cons about the multiplayer portion of the beta so far. Like, I'm having fun with it. It's a good time. I always have fun like during the betas of a game. You know, it's got that new game smell. It's like almost like Christmas morning where everything's just, you know, fun to do, I guess. Well, I guess here's a con right here. My first crash of the game. Awesome. Well, I guess since they're going to force my hand with that crash, let's go ahead and get into the cons. One thing I really don't like is the weapon leveling seems to be extremely slow. I think the weapon I've probably used the most in this beta so far has been this sniper rifle. You know, outside of whatever's in the default classes and then maybe like an AR or two. And I think I have this maybe level 17. And in 17 levels, I've gotten one attachment for each attachment slot, and then maybe like a second optic and a second laser. Like, it feels like after using the weapon for so long, and, you know, maybe I'm not performing the craziest with it, but after using it for so long and, like, you know, staying on the objective, doing whatever I can to get some XP and leveling up all the way to max level, I haven't even gotten a weapon halfway up to max level, which is gonna be a very annoying grind because they do have a lot of stuff locked away behind weapon leveling, at least in the main game from what it seems like, because we will have those prestige camos for weapons, and obviously you need to max out the weapon level to prestige it. And from my understanding, each weapon is going to have some sort of unique attachment to it just by leveling it and getting it prestiged. So if it's going to take like 8 hours per weapon to just prestige it once, that's not going to be a fun time, and not a whole lot of people are going to get these weapons leveled. And we don't have access to double XP or nothing right now. So it could make a difference, but I don't want the default XP to be so low that you have to go out and do whatever promotion they're doing or have enough stuff saved up from the previous COD to be able to actually level things up in a decent amount of time. And I don't know if it's just because it is the first day of the beta at the time I'm recording this, and, you know, all of the sweaty of the sweats are on, or if the SPMM is just cranked up so high, or just like the average COD player is way better than we think it is. But I've been having way more games getting shit on than I'm having games where, you know, I'm doing decent, which, you know, is nothing new really for me. But I feel like the SPMM can be toned down a little bit and just allow people to have some fun, because I feel like a lot of people have either strayed away or play COD less and less every year because of the SPMM, and they don't want to try to go against, you know, wannabe CDL pros, and they just want to hop on and have a fun time on an arcade shooter. And I don't know what the fix to it is besides lowering the SPMM or you know, allowing me to be better than everybody else that I play against. That would be nice. I'll take that all day. Now, another thing that I'm kind of like on the fence about, or at least like I can see good things and bad things about it, is the Nemesis system, which is not like the patented Nemesis system from whatever game that is that I always see in like game ranks videos. But on the enemy team, oh, big dog. On the enemy team, you'll see like somebody highlighted. For me, it's their top frag tree sop, and that person is my Nemesis, who, when they kill me, go ahead, go for it. Oh, RCXD got him. Well, but whenever your Nemesis kills you, you get this like guitar riff almost of, you know, like a notification that that was your Nemesis that got you. And I feel like it gets louder and louder every single time it happens. And, you know, it's kind of funny because when you're like, when you are someone's Nemesis and you keep getting them over and over again, it'll definitely piss them off. You know, I started to feel myself get tilted a little bit from it, which is like kind of funny. It's a pretty easy way to rage bait somebody. But also at the same time, I don't think there's a single way to turn it down, at least not from what E-Man was telling me, because it was bothering him quite a bit when we were playing. And he said he went through his settings, turned a bunch of stuff down, and the Nemesis sound was still playing like max volume. Ooh. But it's a nice little rift when you actually get your Nemesis. Let me see if I can have them just kill me, because the second I start talking about it, of course they don't kill me. Oh, they're no longer my Nemesis. Now it's double dot. Get me. Please get me. Okay, of course. I'm actually trying to die and won't. The opposite of what I want at all times is happening. Throw that in the cons. Please get me. That sound right there. I feel like I'm in It's Always Sunny on the Family Feud episode, and I'm Dennis. And every time the wrong buzzer goes off and he's like physically recoiling from it. That's how I feel if I'm getting dumpstered badly. Because every time it happens, I feel like it gets like a little bit longer and a little bit louder each time. And it's probably just something in my head, but I think that's the point of that system. It gets in your head. It's in my hair too, apparently. Damn.
You're the most elite combat assets on the planet. Act like it.
I am 18 and 31. You're talking to the wrong guy, buddy. I'm also not a big fan of the amount of doors in this game, because they don't open unless you get close to them. You can shoot them to open them, but it's only be open for a little bit and then close back again. I've seen a lot of people echo that sentiment, and people aren't a big fan of these doors. I have no idea why there's been so many doors in COD since Modern Warfare 2019. At least these ones open on their own, but I wish we could just like blow them up or maybe just have them open permanently. Because, you know, it's a cool design. You know, somebody took the time to animate that and everything, and it looks good, and it definitely fits the time period of this game. But people just sit behind it at a distance to where it'll only open up when someone pushes in. And I think it just encourages camping a bit. We got all these movement options and people want to stay still. And I don't want to be negative this whole time. I'll get into like the last thing that I'm not a big fan of is the whole like thing on PC with forcing TPM2 and secure boot. Even if you already have TPM2 and secure boot, there's some motherboards where it's not like the correct version of it according to COD. So I had to go and update my BIOS, which I don't think I've had to do more than like once in my life. And it's always a scary thing because if the power goes out, anything happens while you're updating your BIOS, your computer's just bricked. And that's just something that like even people that do like mess around with computers, you know, they put their, you know, they build their own computer or whatever. Not a whole lot of people mess around in the BIOS, and it feels like a big task just for them to say it's for like anti-cheat. But day one, people were hopping on here with unlock all tools, showing everything basically that's in the game. And people were already like rage aimbotting and hacking. And I don't know if it's just that like they keep the security down, at least for the first few days of the beta, to try to like bait people into using their mod tools or hacks or whatever, just so they can go and get all those accounts or ban whatever. But it seems so unnecessary, or at least like extra, when it comes to like anti-cheat in the game when it doesn't really do anything. Let's get into the positives. I really like the overclock systems. I haven't unlocked a whole lot so far. The only ones I really have are for my scout pulse and my UAV currently, which just basically give me like, what's it called, hardline kinda, where I get them for cheaper. And I'm getting dumpster this game, get me out. But basically it just lets me get my UAV and scout pulse for like 100 points cheaper. And then if I combine that with the bankroll perk, I can literally get my scout pulse in one kill, which is good for like hardcore and things like that. Or if I'm just trying to like farm XP by just getting like UAVs and things like that, I can do it that way. And some of the overclocks seem pretty cool. Like, I like a lot of the ideas they're going with. It's almost like putting augments into multiplayer and everything, and I'm excited to see how overclocking works in zombies if they change up some of like, you know, the different abilities that weapons and everything get. If you actually still get them in zombies, if you still have them for streaks and everything. We also got some nice little piggies in here. These bad boys ain't going to the market. They're staying right home. But what I don't like is it feels like it's taken away from some things that were already default with some weapons or like equipment and things like that. And they've turned them into overclock features. Like the Tomahawk, for example, is very slow to pull out, or at least like slow compared to like BO6 or Cold War, where it takes an extra second to actually get out. And then when you throw it, it's by the time like you've thrown it, you basically should have just bolted your sniper back already. Like, I feel like that's a better use of time, which is very unfortunate because I really like the Tomahawk and I do use it as something for in between sniper shots or while I'm using a melee weapon and somebody's just a little bit too far away. Like, I just really like using the Tomahawk, and I feel like I have to grind out kills with it being super slow until I can get up to the overclock where it'll just throw a little bit faster. I don't even know how much faster it'll be, if it'll even be worth using like that. And also, I just thought about it now. If when I actually prestige, do I lose all my overclocks? Because grinding them all again would suck. I feel like I wouldn't, because there's weapon prestiges. Like if I prestige, does my weapon level reset? Or just like the level that I unlock it at will reset and I just have to re-unlock the weapon. I don't know. I'm still very new to the game, as is everybody else. So I got a lot of questions on how things are going to work. And I'm sure just with time, I'll figure it out. And I also really like how much color they've put in the maps. Like this is a beautiful map already just here in spawn. We got these nice red trees, a nice blue sky, a nice skyline. Like I feel like a lot of COD games are very scared to put color in for whatever reason. It's always like that gray and beige where it's just some facility in the desert or something. But this has got like this nice moving art, a big statue with some pretty toes on it, and it's just more visually appealing than a lot of other maps that we've seen. And with these maps here at launch, a lot of them have been pretty good. I've been having a good time with it. None of them feel like they're too big to to where I'm constantly searching for people. It's just like a quick little run and I'm already back in combat. I'm choking on air. Like, look how pretty this is just right off rip here in spawn. Very nice looking map. And it's a pretty fun map too. Whatever, I think I've done enough yapping. Let's go ahead and just lock in and try to get the rest of these kills for the 1,000 kill Dark Ops. Oh, I'm gross. Oh, that was the Dark Ops challenge too. What a way to get it. I was so locked in. I bet my tongue was hanging way out. Might as well do a little wall hacking while we're at it.
Hardpoint located. Control the hardpoint.
Why is this not hitting? Hello? There we go. Oh, and we lost. 69 and 29 though. Not a bad game to go out on. And I get to play the game too. Guaranteed. Never mind, I take it back. Well, look at that. Best of the first. Is that a chair? 'Cause that didn't look like a throne. I saw a crown, but it didn't look like a throne. Yeah, best of the first on the beta cuck chair. Okay. Bye.